Queen Charlotte takes a close look at this part of royal life. Greetings from Royal Family led my channel. For his depiction of the complexities of love, responsibility, and insanity in Queen Charlotte's marriage to King George, Corey Malthreist, in 18th century England, the director of Netflix's Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story received accolades. The idea of Charlotte's husband as Mad King George, the king whose acts notoriously prompted the colonies to proclaim their independence from Britain, is largely abandoned in this dramatized narrative of royal life. Instead, it shows how King George's painful mental decline and tumultuous reputation in both England and the United States have overshadowed the story of Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz, a young German princess who lived her arranged marriage unaware of the problems that would soon befall her spouse. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. Video Collider of the Day. Continue reading by scrolling. Fortunately, the show has something insightful to say about Charlotte's function as a wife, mother, and queen at King George's court despite the anticipated love excesses. The spin-off actually emphasizes the immense strain Charlotte is under to produce a successor to the English throne. Viewers see how constrained Charlotte's position at court is as she is evaluated by her mother-in-law, ladies-in-waiting, household staff, and even her husband for her suitability to be the mother of the future King of England. Motherhood is frequently used as a negotiating tool. Charlotte must deliver an heir to the throne in order to advance in position, but the pressure this puts on her and the court's obvious interest in her relationship with George prohibit her from meeting him or assimilating to English culture. Even worse, any child she has will not only be her son or daughter, but also the property of the English crown, which is ruled by a turbulent parliament and centuries' worth of clashing traditions. Charlotte is now at odds with her misguided mother-in-law Augusta, Michelle Fairley, and her position in court is much more vulnerable as a result. Charlotte's future success hinges largely on things outside of her control because the only way she can influence the royal household is by becoming pregnant. Therefore, Charlotte's body as a royal and political entity is a legitimate focus of Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story. The fact that her womb is being closely scrutinized in front of such a large audience illustrates how utilitarian marriage, sex, and reproduction were at the English court. The royal lineage is a fragile one. Other, to varying degrees fictitious TV dramas and movies on the English royal family also display the harm caused by this tendency. Henry VII's wife Anne Boleyn, Claire Foy, Damian Lewis, is put to death at the BBC Wolf Hall for a variety of reasons, including her inability to bear a child quickly enough to succeed her husband as King of England. Both in 2007's Elizabeth, The Golden Age, and 1998's Elizabeth, the long-orphaned daughter of Anne Boleyn, Queen Elizabeth, Kate Blanchett, declines to give up her freedom by getting married, possibly because she anticipates a gloomy destiny like that of her mother. The second movie looks at the long-term repercussions of Elizabeth's decision to refuse constant body surveillance and remain single as a means of gaining royal power, whereas the first movie deals with this choice. She infuriated her suitors, advisors, and foreign foes at the British court by refusing to endanger her position, whether through a politically advantageous marriage or the loss of England's military dominance. Elizabeth's position as an unmarried and childless ruler remained tenuous and contested until the end of her reign, despite the fact that the English victory over the Spanish Armada solidified England's authority in Europe and America. The Crown at Netflix, probably the most well-known and divisive movie portrayal of the English monarchy in recent memory. While carrying William, Princess Diana, Emma Corrin, who was herself barely a teenager, finds herself entirely alone in a loveless marriage to Prince Charles, Josh O'Connor. Even though she assures the continuation of the royal bloodline by giving birth to William and Harry, the royal family still views her as an outsider, and the couple's eventual decision to divorce lowers her standing with her ex's family, Mans, and the entire Windsor court. The story of Queen Charlotte is just the most recent illustration of how royal power is inextricably and perniciously linked to fertility. Even though these depictions of English princesses and queens should still be taken with a grain of salt because fictionalization is a crucial part of the creative process. Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, reveals an unsettling truth about royal femininity despite the author's humor.